serving on a panel the morning after Director Testa found out about this, and he was visibly shaken, and at that time I committed working with him to make sure that this wouldn't continue. I also want to introduce my companions in the legislature, Representative Duffey, Representative Landis. Representative Landis, go make some comments. Sure.
Thank you, Senator, and Commissioner, thank you. And I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be part of such important legislation with my esteemed colleagues here from the Senate and Representative Duffey. But this bill is simple. It's about returning money back to taxpayers and Ohio job creators. We are simply fighting for the taxpayers. If you overpaid your taxes, why should the government keep your money? That belongs to the taxpayer. The short answer is they shouldn't hold on to the money. When our small business owners throughout Ohio overpay their taxes, that money needs to be returned to them so they can use those funds to continue to fund their current staff and do possible expansions. So it's money that's going to be invested back into the business typically. The government has implemented a solid policy, along with the governor, of proactively refunding businesses any and all taxes that they're owed. And it's time that we make that policy permanent law. Many people don't know they're owed a refund. Now, can you imagine on a personal level if you overpaid and you weren't aware of it, and the money just goes into a government fund that you don't even know exists? But anyways, many people don't even know they're owed the refund. It's our job as public servants to ensure that this money is returned to them in short order, and since government realizes, as soon as the government realizes a mistake has been made. So once we realize it, we need to act on it and get the money back into the private sector. An important point to note, at best, this problem dates back to the Strickland administration and possibly earlier. Thanks to Governor Kasich and his team, this problem was discovered and rectified. We intend to strengthen the governor's initiative today and applaud him and Commissioner Testa for working with us on this important issue. And again, I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be part of this, coming out of the private sector and working for a privately held company. I know the importance of every penny that's due them coming back. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. I will not repeat the points made by the other speakers, but I will say sincere thank you to Governor Kasich for taking the initiative on this, and to Tax Commissioner Testa, as well as my colleagues in the Senate, Senator Peterson, Senator Beagle, and Representative Landis in the House. In preparation for working on this legislation, I asked the Legislative Service Commission to do a little bit of research about the surrounding states around Ohio. And I want to share a little bit of that information with you today, because what I think is important, and the takeaway from this bill today, is that what Ohio is doing will lead the Midwest and our surrounding states in terms of tax policy, in terms of getting money back to businesses that overpay their taxes, and to notify them when they do that. For instance, Indiana has a law that authorizes a person that has overpaid tax to file a claim to receive a refund. There's no automatic credit towards the next liability. They can get a credit, but they still have to request it. A separate law allows an automatic credit or refund if the person is paying more, but it does not. The regulations of the department do not construe this as a law authorizing automatic refunds. Furthermore, they do not explicitly authorize the department to unilaterally notify a person of an overpayment. In Kentucky, a person may receive a refund only if the person files a written application for a refund. There is, again, no explicit authorization for an agency to unilaterally notify the person of an overpayment. In Michigan, a taxpayer may receive a credit or a refund only if the taxpayer files a written application. Nothing in Michigan law appears to explicitly authorize a unilateral notification of a taxpayer in the case of an overpayment. In Pennsylvania, taxpayers are generally required to file a petition. There are some exceptions to that rule. For example, if there's an audit that discovers an overpayment. Generally speaking, the department is not explicitly authorized to notify a taxpayer of an overpayment. In West Virginia, if you overpay, the tax commissioner must refund the overpayment. However, the the tax commissioner is not authorized to refund or provide a refund unless the taxpayer specifically files a refund to claim that with the commissioner. And again, no notification required for the taxpayers. So you can see that what we're doing in Ohio is going to really lead many other states. We don't know how many at this point. We haven't done a 50-state analysis, but I think it's safe to say that we're leading the vanguard of trying to be as good for taxpayers as possibly can. Thank you.